It was prior to that game last year against the Chiefs that Justin Tucker, one of the best kickers in NFL history, decided to poke the bear. Right. The bear is still poking him back.
Apparently you might be one of these paws or something. You might be one of these guys.
I didn't put the Malocchio on Justin Tucker.
I love it.
Somebody put the Malocchio on Justin Tucker. It must have been Travis Kelce. Maybe it was Patrick Mahomes, but he can't make kicks
I don't think they know that word. I think it was you. I think you put it on him.
Malocchio. It's Italian, but the curse. It's a curse. He put a curse on him.
Yeah.
But something's gotten in Justin Tucker's
Florio
head.
week one, and he hasn't been right
since. Can you stop? It just shows you how difficult that job is. It looks routine, but once you fall off the horse, you can't get yourself back on it.
No.
And it gets in your head, and this is my opportunity. And I remember when Tyler Bass told me a few weeks ago after making that 61-yarder for the Bills to win the game, you're only as good as your next kick. You got to forget all the last kicks, and you just got to go out and embrace the moment when it's time to make your next kick.
That's right. It's my dad told me this a long time ago. He goes, it's kicker's the only position on the football field that's not reactionary, right? So they really feel pressure. Pressure's different for them. Quarterback, hey, you could break the huddle and go, oh, wow, this is a big moment. But you got so many things you're in control of and worried about that you don't have time to think about the moment. You're like, wait, what's my check? What's the defense in? Oh, my gosh, are we lined up the right way? Holy crap, where's the clock at? Am I going to get it off in time? Oh, wait, I got to check to this place. So you don't have time to think about, oh, no, this is a big moment. Mom and dad are watching on TV right now. Kickers got that time to think that. They're sitting there kicking a ball into the net going, whew, man, how far is it going to be? Man, I've missed a few. Okay, let me buckle down here. Come on, let me try to change my mojo. Right? There's just so many things that go into it, and he's obviously in a spot right now where he's struggling, and we've never seen it. He's the greatest field goal kicker we've ever seen, and he's definitely going through it right now.
How similar to or different from that is a quarterback coming back from an interception?
I still think this is harder than coming back from interception. An interception for a quarterback, you're still reactionary. You're a little bit timid, maybe, right? That's where it gets you as a quarterback.
And you're right back at it.
But you're right back at it. And you're, oh, wait, this guy's about to sack me. Oh, that's all. So, again, you don't have time to think about it much, right? There might be a moment where you go, oh, wait, that's a little tight downfield. I just threw an interception. Maybe I won't throw that, and I'll take the easy way out, right? That can happen, but you're not in your own head like, oh, no, I'm not seeing the game the right way. I've got issues like that, and that's where I do feel for kickers.
Well, I was surprised by the outcome yesterday. It was one of the games we disagreed on. Yeah. I thought I had learned all the lessons to be learned about the Ravens. The Ravens and Lamar Jackson against NFC teams. The Ravens and Lamar Jackson when the lights are on, when it feels like a big deal.
Right.
We saw it last year when I thought the 49ers would absolutely dismantle them on Christmas night, and I was wrong. We saw it this year when I thought the Buccaneers would beat them on Monday night, and I was wrong.
Right.
And last Monday night, we both thought that the Chargers would beat them, and we were wrong. And this just lined up as, okay, here comes another NFC team that doesn't deal with Lamar Jackson on a regular basis. Even though they have Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson is in a higher level of overall ability than Jalen Hurts. It's not disrespectful to point out the reality.
No, Lamar's the man. He's one of the greatest we've ever seen.
And the Eagles were able to handle him. The Eagles were able to neutralize that offense. I think they maybe should have showcased Derrick Henry a little bit more.
Yeah, that's right.
They get away. They just have these weird moments where they just kind of like, and it's like, oh, we're saving it. What are they doing? I mean, 19 carries, 82 yards, but it was working. 4.3 yards per carry. You want to see more from him than what we saw yesterday.
I think they can play through him more, and it doesn't have to be necessarily all the time about just. He has to put up few numbers. He can take over a game. He can take over a game. The attempts are the most important thing. The attempts are what make them dangerous and scary because you start to worry about, oh, gosh, Derrick Henry up the middle. Derrick Henry up the middle. Oh, no, now Lamar kept it off the edge. Oh, Derrick Henry up the middle. Oh, Lamar off the edge. Oh, now they faked the Derrick Henry up the middle. Now Lamar's dropped back to pass. Oh, no, now Zay Flowers is open for a 50-yard gain. That's when they're at their best. And I think what you're saying, and we all say at times, is they get a little pass happy. And they have a little bit of a thing when they lose a game, they come back and go, we're going to run the ball. And then they win that game, and then they go back, we're going to go back to throwing the ball like we did yesterday. But you said all those things, NFC, primetime, all those cool things, and you're right about the Ravens except for one thing. None of those teams are the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sasquatch is
the
back,
Eagles, baby. The Eagles are the most talented team in football.
It is amazing that they figured it out. They were 2-2 at their bye. They went back to Tampa Bay and got embarrassed in the same place where they got embarrassed in the wild card round. And they got that week off. And they figured something out.
They've never been the same. It's just continued. Like we talked about with Buffalo, it's just every week.
Big Dom found a way to reverse the Malocchio that somebody put on him last year when they were 10-1.
He knows the special Italian magic.
You got to figure it out, baby. He's this. You got to do it back this way, and then you've got the.
I think he raised another finger at a picture of you.
Well,
that's how he got rid of the Malocchio.
But you know what? Now and yesterday would have been the game.
Yeah, Big Dom.
Yesterday was the kind of equivalent of the 49ers game last year, where it all started to go wrong for the Eagles. And they did not let that happen. You know, big late afternoon game against a high-end opponent, and you get punched in the mouth, and all of a sudden you can't win.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean it's not going to happen at some point between now and then, but it feels like they've exercised those demons from last year.
Definitely.
And Eagles fans get mad when I point that out. And it just is another example of fans get mad when we point out the things that the fans are secretly worried about. And they get pissed off when somebody reminds them of the thing they don't want to think about. And they don't want to think about the fact that last year the Eagles shat the bed down the stretch. They lost their magic, and they couldn't get it back. And now that we're getting to the stretch run, and here they are with 8 wins in a row, 10-2, breathing down the Lions' necks. Is it going to happen again? And they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to think about it. But how can you not?
Yeah.
We're here to articulate the things that you're thinking about that you don't want to talk about, because that's the thing that's keeping you up at night when you're worrying about what your team's going to do and are they going to be able to pull this off.
Yeah, right. Now they don't have to think about it. They don't have to think about it anymore. Yesterday was the official, like, you're over the hump. You're real. You're an incredible football team, and you're the most talented team in football. They know who they are. They play to that. Like you've heard me say for about 5 weeks for now, if Jalen Hurts doesn't turn the ball over, they're almost impossible to beat. Like, impossible. I don't care how it looks. And again, what they did, and this is where the game is special yesterday. We can't forget what we saw here. This is Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. It's been the best offense in football. If they don't have that last drive, their offensive day sucks yesterday. They got 70 yards on a drive where the game was over. They were down by 2 scores, and Philadelphia didn't really give a damn, and they were kind of celebrating as they were backpedaling down the football field. I mean, that day and what Lamar did, it had been in the 170s throwing the football. They'd have been under 200 yards of total offense. Nothing would have – it would have looked a lot worse 24-12 if it weren't for that last drive. That Eagle defense, that front four they have, I'll put it up there with anybody in the game right now. I think Jalen Carter has entered the conversation for best defensive player in football with T.J. Watt and some others to be named. And then, of course, we've talked about this secondary, young, talented, all right, speed at the edge as far as corner, C.J. Gardner-Johnson and the kid Cooper DeJean and Blankenship are good. The middle linebacker plays good. They got depth at the pass rusher position. They got it all, and you saw really Baltimore not really move the ball surgically yesterday. Any play, and you go back and watch the game, it was Lamar danced around, he bought some time, and then found somebody down the field. It wasn't like he dropped back to pass, took a hitch, and went, oh, it's in rhythm. Guys are just open everywhere. Fangio has got the Eagles playing, and that guy right there, number 98, is the man.
You make a great point. It was 24-12 with a minute left.
Right.
And yeah, you're not. It ain't over till it's over.
Part of the
you're
game,
not scoring 12 points in a minute.
Exactly. Right.
And they score their final touchdown with 7. They call the play. The play starts with 7 seconds left on the clock. There's no way they're going to win the game. 24-19. You know, this is the flip side of when you see a team punt when the game still isn't over, but they don't want the final score to end up looking worse than it already does, so they concede.
Exactly.
This is the flip side of it. This is like, hey, 24-12.
Look, the game look a little
24-12 as the final score on a day when most of the games were one-score games. Like, for 24-12, you got your asses kicked by the Eagles.
Yeah.
This makes it look like less of an ass kicking than it was, but it was.
Right. And again, this is a Baltimore defense. We know that's not real good, But they match up pretty good with Philadelphia, and this is why. And again, you know this, and I think anybody that's watching Philadelphia turn on the film and do that, they don't do a lot on offense. You're not going to look at it and go, oh, wow, they're reinventing the wheel, and what a great idea. And, wow, Jalen Hurts is playing high-end surgical football from the pocket. No, that's not what they are. It can look a little ugly at times. But, again, they know what they're going to do. They know how to do it. They know how to do it versus every defensive look they got, so they execute. Baltimore's big up front. They could stop the run or at least go, hey, we don't have to be desperate to stop the run, and we can play two deep safeties and help out on A.J. Brown and do it. That's where they were a good matchup for the Eagles offense that way. And let's not forget, they didn't even have Devontae Smith out there. That would have changed things too. So, they gave the Eagles offense problems is what I'm saying. But as we see in every game, as games go on, Eagles find their little core of plays they like, and they're going to strike at some point, and they lean on you, and they wear you out, and they're the most physically gifted team in football right now, and I think the best team in football right now when you take into the Lions' injuries and stuff like that.
Let's hear a little from Lamar Jackson before we wrap this segment on leaving plays on the field last night and what the loss means to the Ravens' bigger objectives.
Looking back, you feel like there were some opportunities to run today for you that you may have passed up?
Yeah. My mama just told me that. She just cussed me out. So like I'm mad. So like we gonna get after it, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. We gonna get after it. I can't wait till this ball get on. Like we got the Giants coming up. I'm ready to go. Like I'm just ready to go, man.
So what did she cuss you out about?
She said it was lanes I should have took and ran. But I was just trying to let guys develop routes. We had developing routes. And I was just trying to go through my progression. But yeah, she right. I'm gonna do my like. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for this. I'm just mad because I feel like we should win these games and we not getting them done.
Lamar, big picture, heading into the bye, 8-5. You're a game and a half behind the Steelers. Where do you think the full team is?
We don't need to worry about the Steelers. We need to worry about us. Like, that's the first thing. Worry about whatever we need to clean up on this side, clean that shit up. Like, forget every other team. We need to be beating ourselves out there. Little opportunities, we not making them happen. We need to make those critical situations happen, and we're not doing it.
Usually we bleep that. I like it when we don't.
I like his attitude.
Real life is rated R, baby.
I like his energy. There's some interesting things he said there. Now, one, I love how he said it. It's not about the Steelers and all that. It's about us, right? So he's right about that. They got to clean their own stuff up and play better that way. The other part of it is that, his mom telling him he needs to run more, and he kind of sweared again, and I'm just going to be like. That was like, I wonder what that's going to mean there. And again, Lamar, the offense has been doing really well. Don't totally reinvent the offense and the way you play here going forward. He made it sound like he was like, hey, the hell with it. I'm just going to start running all the time now when I drop back to pass. If I don't see anybody open, I'm just going to run. And he's most dangerous when he's been doing what he's been doing. And what we saw yesterday, when he buys time and then finds Zay Flowers down the field wide open, that's when they're at their best. So I just hope he doesn't get frustrated and start pressing and start going, I got to make a play. I'm going to make the big run right here. When he does that, that's when first-round loss against the Tennessee Titans in the divisional round when you're the number one seed, that's when that happens. Oh, I fumbled because I was trying to make too much happen. All of that. I don't want to see him go down that road.
They have week 14 off. He mentioned the bye week.
Yeah.
He wants to get through the bye week and get rolling at the Giants, so they should be able to win that one week 15.
Roll that one.
Then they've got the Saturday game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, which moved to Saturday so that it would only be 4 days, not 3 days, between Saturday and Christmas on Wednesday.
Was that our game?
Travel to the Houston
when
Texans.
They played the Steelers on?
We've got Chiefs-Texans
we got Chiefs-Texans
that Saturday.
Day.
Fox has Steelers-Ravens.
Gotcha.
And then they're at the Texans on Christmas Day, and they finish up with the Cleveland Browns coming to town. And the Cleveland Browns aren't pushovers either. The Cleveland Browns already beat them once this year. And last year, the signature Deshaun Watson win, the only win of significance during his time with the Browns, was when they went to Baltimore and beat them. And it was just the days after that we found out that Watson's shoulder was messed up and he was done for the year.
Right.
So the Ravens have some work to do on this bye week. It's tough to go into 2 weeks off wanting so badly to come back and prove that what happened yesterday was not a reflection of what they really are. They have 4 chances left, and they're a game and a half behind the Steelers, and the Steelers hold the tiebreaker head-to-head, but obviously the Ravens get a chance to even that out when they meet in a couple of weeks. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.